This is a short tutorial to go over grading items inside of the PebblePad workbook and ePortfolio. You're already familiar with accessing submissions for each of your teacher candidates, and I did want to take a moment to just show you the gradebook that I set up in our shared Google Drive folder. You'll see that there's a row for each student, and then I've put the maximum number of points that students can earn for each assignment. The assignments that are highlighted in aqua are those that you will use a rubric for. And then the yellow, which is really just the weekly reflections, there is no rubric. So I just wanted to point out, I had a little bit of logic behind the color coding. So let's go back to the PebblePad view. I'm gonna select Garrett's workbook, and I'm going to now, let's say it's near the end of the term and I want to grade his SMART goal. So I'm going to go to the leave feedback for this page, and I'm going to select feedback template. And then from here you'll see that there's another pop-up window. When I click on that feedback template, I'll select the template, or really it's a rubric, and then I can go in here and add information. This looks like a field that you're required to put something in here, so I would just say feedback on Garrett's SMART goal. Then you can click on each of these cells for the points. I will say for this particular assignment you need to look at the original SMART goal, but then the weekly reflections in 4 and 10, and then also base this off of the conversations that you have with the teacher candidate. And you can leave some overall feedback here as well. Once you have completed this, then of course you're going to click Create, which is a way to save this so that it can be viewable by the teacher candidate. And then if the student earns the 18 points, I'm just going to close this out. Then you would transfer that grade into this self-directed learning goal column for your student. And I did organize these by teacher candidate at this point just to try to make things a little easier. The same process is true for grading the forms. So near the end of the term, you're going to be asked to look at all of the forms and also use another rubric that I created. And essentially for the workbook forms, if they've turned in all of the forms, then they get 20 points. And so there's a point value for their permission forms, the field experience checklist, the observation forms, and so forth. This would be a concern for me if there are videotapes of students without any permissions. So definitely bring that to my attention if it does come into play. And then the third assignment is the teaching philosophy, which at this point students should have already submitted, and so this can be ready to be graded. You'll need to go to their ePortfolios. So now I'm going into Garrett's ePortfolio, and then you go to the first main horizontal menu and then go down to this pull down menu called Teaching Statement, and you can read the statement that has been included here. Same process of selecting a feedback template. You'll add feedback and then use a feedback template, and you'll select the teaching philosophy one. When you look at this, what you'll notice is that part of this assignment also is asking students to evaluate or reflect on the dispositions as well. So you'll need to look back in their workbook to see if their statement in any way reflects something around dispositions, and there's a little bit about just some formatting, which is pretty basic, And then the main focus is just expressing some big ideas about their program of studying and understanding the field of visual impairment, special education, so forth. So that's it for the gradebook and using the feedback templates in PebblePad.